EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, our new season begins with an NFC South matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Set to go, Younghoe Koo ready to do the honors. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Hey, we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers. But how about here? This is a cornerback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be an... Picked by Jeff Okudah. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Yellow. Black shot. Ready?
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this is incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. A first red zone opportunity of the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They're going to look to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
Ready.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Claude Ray.
He'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Koo knocks this one through the post. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Their second drive here of the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Kamara up the middle. Powers through him. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Watson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. 2nd down and a run by Robinson. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 21. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world.
Here we go. Here we go. Strike 2. Ready?
They'll drop to throw. That ball is caught. It's London for the Atlanta touchdown. A great effort there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Falcons' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you...
And now Watson throws another interception. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. They'll run with Robinson. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Robinson is into the end zone. It's a Falcons touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Off of play action, it's Watson. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
All you hear from coaches and personnel directors in the NFL, how difficult it is for a rookie receiver to have an impact on the game. So much to learn, so much offense to absorb. Looks like he's picking it up pretty well.
I would say so. And how about that for your first career NFL touchdown?
I don't know that he envisioned it quite that way, but if he was smart, he probably dreamed about it a little bit.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Going up top for Miller. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to get the football here at their own 23. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
On second down, Kamara. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. From the 50, it's Watson. Got an open man. It's Olave. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Faking the give. Now Watson. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. And he wisely will throw that one away. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. On 4th down, Watson. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Kamara is into the end zone for a Saints touchdown. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
Let's go now.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe you give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons.
Well, that's a good-looking rookie right there. I love how he let the play set up and then showed that explosiveness that I saw on tape in college. Remember I showed you the clip of what he was doing and setting up blocks, and then he would just go? We saw it on that play right there. That one was fun to watch.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Watson off play action. Escaping the pressure right. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays, because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They run it again with Kamara. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. 76 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. On 1st down, it's Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. On 1st down, Watson. quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, here's Kamara. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. On 1st and 10, Watson. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Facing this big first half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. They will indeed snap it to Watson. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Watson now to throw. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will close the gap down to 14. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
On the set.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. This one complete to Scott Miller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Okay.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Blue striker. Green jack. Ready?
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Going for the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on third down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
Okay, ready? Ready.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Flushed out right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
Kamara running on first down, but finding nowhere to go as he's bottled up behind the line. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. To throw is Watson. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the Falcons are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Finding room at midfield, and he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 53 yards. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
Black Ultra.
On play action, they'll throw. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Kyle Pitts, 28 yards. And the Falcons are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. The fumble on first down now. Here's second down. Now it's Watson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? They're gonna look to throw. Going deep here for Landry. And now here is another interception. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Red cycle.
They'll send the tight end in motion. Back to throw now on first down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
He'll decide to keep this once more. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here's Bradley Pinion now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Miles Jack with a sack. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used the slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So they'd converted their first 2 4th down attempts. Not there. Now they're 2 for 3.
You think maybe the offense coordinator expended a little capital on that one? You know, when you're 2 for 2, you can lobby for that 3rd one, right? Didn't get it there. Maybe now the head coach might not be so eager to go for it as we go forward.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's out wide here for Robinson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. On the right side, this is Miller. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Robinson up the middle. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll keep it himself. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Desmond Ridder now with his third touchdown in his first ever NFL game. And the Falcons are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The Saints on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. He's going to take another shot here. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Falcons force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them.
Well, this is intercepted. They get Ridder for the 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning.
And this is caught inside the 5. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That one goes for 30 yards. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Watson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Saints get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is down to 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Ready.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he trotted out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let him go out there with a little bit more confidence. There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Claude Ray. Smash Ray. Hey.
Miller in motion right.
Set.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man. It's London. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10.
Blue, go. Red, yellow, throw, 52.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Yet another touchdown in what has just been a high-scoring affair, a fun one to watch. And it's the rookie quarterback, Charles, coming through with yet another touchdown pass to pad the lead.
Did we come into this game where defense was optional? Because it certainly feels that way, right? But when you look at the scoreboard, this rookie, he has his team moving at a little bit quicker pace than his opponents. The entire offense is going to get plenty of praise, but I think these coaches have to be especially happy with what their quarterback has done.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 1st down, Watson. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally, because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game, but it could add to your stats.
On 4th down, Watson. And my goodness, another interception. And the Falcons are going to take possession here at their own 33. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. That one looks like he'll throw here. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made.
Okay, right? 12, 10. Cut.
They'll look to throw here. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's in cruise control right now, and so is his team.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Here we go, set.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Green jack. Go red.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this one is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Into the hands of London. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 45-yard line. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for Atlanta, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.